Hey, folks. You won't believe the financial tips I've uncovered about the Chinese. From their incredible savings culture to ninja strategies like the zero-based budgeting system. And there's more, the influence of the one-child policy on the country's financial dynamics is mind-blowing. Want to know how they manage to save almost 10 times more than us in the United States? Then stick around for the entire video because I guarantee these lessons will transform how you look at money. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any content. Let's do this. 5. Savings rate in China. So, check this out. In December 2021, China was rocking a whopping 45.9% savings rate. Now, if we compare that to the United States, where people hover around 3.5% to 5%, it's like an abyss of difference, right? I was shocked when I found out. Like, the Chinese are saving almost 10 times more money than us here in the USA. Crazy. And you know what the secret to all this success is? Well, I think it has a lot to do with their culture. From childhood, the Chinese are taught that saving is a matter of honor. They even receive money in red envelopes called lucky money. So here's the question, shouldn't this mindset be more global? I've been pondering on that. You know. And there's more, the demographics in China also play a crucial role in this story. Until 2016, they had that one-child policy. This made families have fewer mouths to feed, and, of course, more money left over at the end of the month. And these guys focus on living with the bare minimum. Seems like this less is more approach is paying off for them. Now, to wrap it up, the Chinese have this thing called the zero-based budgeting system. Like, every dollar is accounted for, no slacking. They allocate money for expenses, savings, and investments, and at the end of the month, not a penny is left. A serious discipline, right? If we applied something like this here, I wonder if it would work. I'm curious to know what you think about all of this. For Chinese savings culture, you know, I was genuinely surprised when I delved into the world of Chinese savings culture. They take this stuff seriously, from childhood. It's like a tradition, they teach kids that saving money is a true matter of honor. And get this, kids receive money in red envelopes, known as lucky money. Well, now I get where all that discipline comes from. They learn to value money from a young age, and here's another cool curiosity in this story. You know the Chinese New Year? Instead of saying, Happy New Year, they drop a Dong Xie Fei Kai, which basically means, may you get rich. Seriously, that says a lot about how they view wealth, right? It's like financial prosperity is an integral part of the celebration. An interesting mindset, don't you think? Oh, and the lucky money thing goes even deeper. They have a saying that saving this money from childhood is a honor tradition. It's part of their upbringing, a true cultural heritage. And I can't help but wonder, maybe adopting some of these habits wouldn't be a smart move around here. It could be a savvy play, and, buddy, it doesn't stop there. In China, having money is seen as being successful. It's like a status, you know. People with money are admired and respected. Even during the Chinese New Year, they greet each other wishing for wealth, not just happiness. It's a different perspective, where money is intertwined with identity and success in society. Definitely a unique approach. 3. Demographics and one-child policy. Dude, the deal with China's one-child policy until 2016 is quite a fascinating story. I mean, this policy messed with people's heads and even influenced how they view money. Check it out, with fewer kids, families had fewer mouths to feed, you know. And, of course, that directly impacted the money they had to shell out every month. Talk about a guaranteed saving. Now, there's a quirky detail to this. With fewer women around, the competition among men to be financially successful got intense. It's because, traditionally, having a male child is super important in Chinese culture. He inherits the family name and properties, so you can imagine the pressure on the guys to be seen as successful. I wondered if this influenced people to be more frugal, you know. And that's not the end of it, my man. This whole policy created a gender imbalance. At some points, there were 122 men for every 100 women born. Bizarre, right? With more men in the mix, the demand for success and wealth soared. It's like they needed to stand out financially to have a shot at winning someone over. Total madness, but I get why money gained so much importance in this context. And check this out, since these families only had one offspring to take care of, it was like an economy combo. Less spending on food and more focus on ensuring that sole child had what they needed. Imagine the relief in the parents' wallets. Huh. So, had you ever thought about how these policies could mess with a country's financial dynamics? I found this connection kind of surprising. 2. Zero-based budgeting system. You know, when I stumbled upon this whole zero-based budgeting system that the Chinese are rocking, I was like, wow, this is some ninja-level stuff. It's a tactic they use to ensure that every cent of their money is accounted for. Every dollar has its designated place, like a financial military organization, you get me? Here's the deal, every month, you allocate your funds for expenses, savings, and investments. But there's a twist here, my friend. The goal is to reach the end of the month without a single penny left. It's like a financial jigsaw puzzle where all the pieces fit perfectly. They leave no room for waste, it's money working diligently in every sector. And there's something cool about this whole story. This system doesn't dictate how much to spend in each category but helps you understand your expenses as a whole. It's like a map showing where every dollar ends up. But hey, it's not a walk in the park. You have to be brutally honest about your spending, and sometimes you need to do it for about 3 months to get a real average of your variable expenses. A true immersion into your financial life. Now, think about it, if we adopted something like this around here, wouldn't we have fewer of those, "where did all my money go?" moments? I found the idea of having ninja-like control over money quite intriguing. Maybe it's worth a shot. What do you think? I'm curious to see how this would play out in my day-to-day. 1. Priority on needs over desires. You know, when it comes to shopping, the Chinese have an approach that I find super interesting. They're kind of masters at distinguishing what's a necessity from what's just a fleeting desire. It's like financial wisdom, you know. They focus on spending money on things that are genuinely necessary, especially those related to health. Prioritizing quality of life, it's a pretty clever move. The idea is to be reasonable, without falling into the temptation of momentary desires. If you need something and it's genuinely necessary, they don't hesitate to spend. For instance, if you're torn between a mediocre desk chair and an ergonomic one that takes care of your spine, they go for the second option. They think long-term, seeking a return on investment in health and well-being over time. But wait, there's another clever move in this whole scheme. When it's about fulfilling a desire, the Chinese still apply a ninja strategy. Imagine you really want to buy something, like a stylish wallet. They go ahead and calculate how much that wallet would cost per day if they used it for 5 years. This way, they can figure out if the investment in the desire will be worth it over time. It's like giving a slap to temptation and doing the math before spending. I'm wondering if we, here in the West, couldn't adopt some tricks like that, you know? This logic of balancing needs and desires seems like a pretty interesting way to keep finances under control. I'm here, just imagining what it would be like if I calculated the cost per use of the things I want. Have you ever thought about that? Hey, folks, I hope you enjoyed these incredible insights into the Chinese financial mindset. I was amazed by these practices, and I hope you found them as surprising as I did. If you found these tips as mind-blowing as I did, don't forget to hit the like button. Comment below on your biggest discovery or if you were already familiar with some of these strategies. And, of course, if you want more fresh content full of insights, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's work together to build a smarter path for handling money. Until the next video, everyone.